12 years of marriage is supposed to mean something. It's supposed to be a bond you can lean on, a history that can't be erased, a life built together. But for me, it became the perfect cover for the greatest betrayal I never saw coming. I'm Daniel, 41 years old, and until a year ago I believed I had the kind of marriage people envied. My wife, Lisa, and I had built a life together from scratch. We bought our first house after years of saving, shared countless road trips, even went through tough times that I thought only made us stronger. To everyone on the outside, we looked unshakable. But cracks have a way of hiding in plain sight. At first, I noticed Lisa becoming distant. Not just emotionally, but practically. Longer work trips, late-night phone calls she'd silence when I entered the room, new clothes and jewelry that didn't match the salary she earned. I told myself I was overthinking. After all, 12 years together had to mean trust. I couldn't have been more wrong. The night it all came crashing down started like any other. Lisa said she was heading out to meet a friend for dinner. I stayed back, planning to catch up on emails. But hours later, when I stepped outside to take the trash, I noticed something strange. The back door was slightly ajar, even though I had locked it earlier. My gut tightened. Inside, I found the living room ransacked, drawers pulled out, cabinets open, valuables missing. And Lisa? Nowhere to be found. My first instinct was panic, thinking she had been taken or hurt. I called her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. 10 minutes later, a notification popped up on my banking app. Our joint account had been drained. That was when the truth began to unravel. At first, I couldn't process it. I paced through the wreckage of my own home, trying to believe it was some random break-in. But the details didn't add up. Only specific valuables were gone. My watch collection, the safe I kept in the closet, a few electronics. The burglars hadn't even touched the TV or the expensive liquor bottles sitting in plain sight. And then it hit me. Whoever had done this knew exactly what to take. Still, I didn't want to believe Lisa could be involved. My wife, the woman who had stood with me at the altar, who had promised forever, couldn't possibly have betrayed me like this. Could she? The answer came faster than I expected. 2 days later, a friend called me from the airport. He worked as a baggage handler, and he swore he had just seen Lisa walking through security with a man I had never met before, holding hands like newlyweds. My chest tightened. I drove to the airport immediately, heart pounding with every mile. Part of me prayed it wasn't true, that it was just someone who looked like her. But deep down I already knew. When I arrived, I scanned the terminal, searching the crowd. And there she was. Lisa, in a dress I'd never seen before, hair styled as if she were heading to a honeymoon. Beside her was a tall man with a smug smile, his arm draped possessively around her shoulders. In her hand, I spotted my leather duffel bag, the one where I used to keep important documents. It wasn't just a robbery. It was an escape. She had planned this, draining our account, staging the break-in, and running away with him. But here's what neither of them knew. I wasn't the only one watching that night. I stayed back, hidden behind a column near the gate, my fists clenched. Every instinct told me to march up, to scream, to demand answers. But something stopped me. Maybe it was shock, maybe it was instinct, but instead of acting on rage, I pulled out my phone. Because just a week earlier, I had done something Lisa didn't know about. After months of her suspicious behavior, I had quietly hired a private investigator. At the time, I thought maybe it was paranoia. But now? Every photo, every bank statement, every late-night rendezvous with her lover had already been documented. And in my jacket pocket, I had something else, a police report. The robbery she staged wasn't just betrayal, it was fraud, theft, and conspiracy. The investigator had tied everything together neatly. All I had to do was make one call. So as I watched Lisa and her new man laugh by the boarding gate, I dialed the detective's number. Within minutes, 2 plainclothes officers walked into the terminal. My heart hammered as I saw them approach the couple. Lisa's smile faded instantly when the badge flashed in front of her. Her lover tried to act tough, but when the officers pulled the duffel from her hands and unzipped it, the truth spilled out. My missing jewelry, cash, and even documents she thought she could use for a new life. She looked around frantically, as if searching for someone to save her. For one moment, her eyes met mine across the crowded terminal. I'll never forget the way her face crumbled. The realization that I hadn't been fooled, that her plan had fallen apart before it even began. The officers led them away in handcuffs. And me? I finally felt something I hadn't in years. Peace. Lisa thought she was escaping with her lover, leaving me broken and robbed. But instead, she walked straight into the ending she had written for herself. The marriage ended not with an argument, not with a tearful goodbye, but with the sound of airport security gates closing behind her. And for the first time in 12 years, I walked away free.